You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Westworld Season 2, Episode 5, Akane no Mai. And I apologize for pronunciation. I probably butchered that, but I don't care because... Oh, this is good. I'm really starting to love this season. It's got a shot at being better than Season 1. It has to not botch the landing, but it's on track right now. First of all, Maeve. Maeve is back, and Maeve is awesome, and Tandy Newton is just... Gosh, she owns this part. There's something about the look on her face and the expression of thoughtfulness and intensity that she has, or you know, when she's feeling sensitive compassion, like there's a whole range of stuff that she goes through, and it all reads on her face, and it's awesome. And I'm loving Shogun World. The thing was, when we first realized that they were going to be exploring this, I remember getting very nervous because I remember thinking, God, how redundant is this going to be? Is this going to feel totally detached from everything else that is going on? Is this going to feel like a tack on? You know, is this going to work? Well, yeah, it's going to work, and it's going to work because even though it is a completely new setting, it is still very much in line with everything we know about Westworld. And I love the fact that Maeve and her little group of murder friends effectively encounter their own equivalents there. And I love that it gets explained by this writer basically kind of shrugging it off like, you try and come up with 300 storylines in a few weeks. And, you know, the guy's a hack. And he was not above recycling stuff when he knew that the characters weren't going to cross over with each other. So, of course, virtually the same storyline is going on in Shogun World. And these are effectively the same template characters just slapped onto well, it's not a samurai, he's a Ronin, but slapped onto a Ronin and a geisha as opposed to an outlaw and a madam. I love that. I love that. That makes total sense to me. And seeing them interact and seeing the ways that things are ringing the same bells but yet are also slightly different. And I love the cast. The guy who's playing the Ronin, I can't remember the character's name right now, but I've seen him in other stuff. I remember first seeing him in the Danny Boyle film Sunshine. He's good. I've seen him in a number of things, and most of the things I've seen him in aren't great. He was in that sci-fi show Helix, I think it was called. I only watched the first season. It was not very good. But he is always good. He's one of those guys who's just a great presence. And so he is bringing that to the table. The geisha Akane, she is she's so good. That moment of just her just stabbing the guy in the eye is like, oh, and actually, you know what? The writer is really starting to grow on me, especially with his reactions, just seeing something like that going, that's not supposed to happen. And I feel like in a lot of ways he would be me in that scenario. It's just the guy who's like, okay, I'm just trying to survive, but I think I know what's going on. Crap. No, I don't. So I'm digging that. We've still got the techies. We've still got Sylvester and Felix in there. I really feel bad for them. They're just pulling the cart at this point. Like, there's a part of me that wants to say narratively, there's no point in having them around. Maybe they should just get killed off. Except I kind of have a soft spot for the guy, so I don't want that to happen. Teddy, what I called is kind of going on. Earlier I called that Teddy was going to directly confront Dolores about everything that was going down. That hasn't happened. So I wasn't right about that specific, but I was right that they were going to come to a head. And in this case, Dolores making the decision that who Teddy is fundamentally, i.e. a good, compassionate guy, is somebody that can't survive what she has planned. She can't use him. So looks like she's trying to overwrite him, and I'll be really curious to see how that pans out. I feel bad for Teddy with that. God, I feel like there's so much more for me to talk about, but I'm not sure what else there is to say besides just going through the thing point for point. Oh, the whole thing with Maeve, like she's like going full Carrie at this point. And so she was already sort of had this command over other hosts, but now she is able to do it just with her head. And I will be really curious to see to what extent they explore that and question that, because it's the kind of thing like, it makes me wonder, are they overpowering her? But then at this point, I had the doubts about Shogun World in the first place. So I'm hopeful that they'll find a way to balance that and have it work. It was a bit of an oh crap moment though with the Shogun and realizing he had burned the ears of his closest followers, and the writer recognizing, oh crap, he's leaking fluid like this. He's not self-aware, he's glitching. So he's not following programs, but not because he now has freedom of choice, it's because he's malfunctioning, which makes him even less predictable. Yeah, this is the last episode. I said it before and I'll say it again. I do like Dolores this season. I certainly like her more than last season. I find her interesting. And I am curious about what's going on with her. But what I am most curious about by a heavy margin is the Man in Black and Maeve. And if you just want to go back and forth between the two of them until eventually they meet up and come head to head because she remembers that he has killed her before. So I imagine them having a showdown eventually. Yeah, that's kind of where my heart is at this point. And we're still kind of minimizing the corporate stuff, the corporate espionage, the military response, which is good because that's the least interesting stuff going on here. And I'm fine with it just continuing to peek in because logistically it does have a part to play in the narrative, but it's getting no more emphasis than is necessary for its use in moving the plot forward, and that's good by my estimation. So I'm really liking the way that the episodes are balanced in terms of where the emphasis is going, who's getting screen time, what elements are getting screen time, how the characters are panning out, the new characters being introduced. This is really, really solid, and I had been nervous about second season of this show because that first one was so solid, and the first one also ended in a way that like this could be the only season and it'll be okay. And that gave me memory of Stranger Things, which also had a first season that ended in a way it's like, oh, well, that could more or less be the end. And then they gave us a second season, and I was kind of left wondering, boy, why couldn't that have been the end? So I've been nervous about this season of Westworld, but I am digging the heck out of this. So, Westworld Season 2, Episode 5. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Maeve with the samurai sword. Yes! Yes! Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comment. Let's talk about it. Do all the things, like and subscribe. I talk about this show, I talk about other shows. There was a new Doctor Who episode, topic, video thing every single Sunday, and you can follow me on Twitter. I've got a podcast I do with my partner called Punch Like a Girl. Got a bunch of other stuff. Links for all those things are down in the description. So until next time, this council is adjourned.